Hi, welcome to my channel. What we're going to do is we're going to add another level of detail, and we're going to use parting lines, and we're going to create reveals to perhaps separate the shield so we can have a brow bar at the top and having a clear shield at the bottom. Okay, and what we're going to try to do is reuse one of the layers. So let's begin. Let's go ahead and take the face shield. Okay, again, I'm going to go ahead and just use my mouse and left click the face shield on and off. You can see how I've turned it on and off. Okay, and what that's going to do, it's going to basically show what layer is active, and we're going to go ahead and duplicate that layer. Okay, so we're going to right click and we're going to duplicate that layer, and what's going to give you a chance to go ahead and rename it. We're going to call it face shield, and I'm going to go headband. Okay, so now what you saw here was a doubling up of that layer, so you can see how it got a little bit darker. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go ahead and create a new path. Okay, we don't need this path. Okay, make sure it's off. Okay, and then what we're going to do is we're going to take our pen tool and we'll zoom in. Now if you can look carefully, look right up in this area, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a separation line between this whole shield and this upper section. All right, so we're going to go ahead and create a path. I'm going to start from the middle. I'm going to come around and we're going to loop it. Okay, so I'll end it here. All right, now again, like I said, don't fuss with this path. Come back in and save it first. All right, so we're going to call this path 2 headband. Okay, so now we've got a path created for that. All right, now as we said before, what you want to do is go ahead and use your path selection and your direct selection tool to begin adjusting it to make sure we're right dead center. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use my magnifying glass. I'm going to get up close. We'll inspect it. Okay, that's one on top and this one on the bottom. All right, it doesn't look too bad. Okay, what I'm going to do is maybe select on it. Okay, looks good. All right, again, use your space bar, and that allows you to quickly pan and look across. We'll zoom out just a little bit. All right, and we're going to go ahead and go to the pen tool, and we're going to use the convert point tool, because this is what we're going to do. We're going to use the direct selection tool, the white arrow. We'll reselect certain points, and then we'll use our convert point tool to help smooth out and round out that parting line, okay, or separation line. All right, again, remember you have handles here that you can push and pull depending on how tight or how open you want that radius. All right, again, press down the shift bar to pan. Okay, and again, use your direct selection key to pull down, right, to get that into position. And I think that looks pretty good. All right, so let's go ahead and zoom out. Zoom out again. And let's go back to our path selection tool. And let's just kind of return back to the pen tool, just so we have a pen to work with. All right. Now remember, okay, we have a headband layer that's separate, that's already provided for us to begin rendering. Okay, and we also have a layer for the headband path. All right. So what you want to do is I'm going to copy, paste, and flip so we can get the other side in symmetry. So let's go ahead and grab the path selection tool. This is selected. Okay, again, select it. You want to copy, paste. Okay, it's pasted down. We don't do anything yet. And what you want to do now is go transform path, and you want to flip it horizontally. You see how it went the other way? See how the other one went the other way? And what you want to do is not use the move key, but to use the path selection key. Okay, grab the handle and let's scoot it over. Okay, oops, I grabbed the wrong one. Sorry. Let's go back. All right, let's go ahead and grab that one. Okay, And let's move that one over. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That does happen sometimes. All right, so let's go ahead and grab that path and bring it over. Okay. Yeah, it looks like it's connected, but let's double check. Okay. So the only way to double check is to go ahead and grab one side and the other. Okay. And I think that's connected. That looks pretty good. Okay. Now the acid test again is to fit the screen. All right. And what you want to do is hold down the Shift key and select the other path on the other side. Now, if you did this correctly, all you have to do is hit the button here on the third from the left, and see if all of it becomes active. And I think it looks pretty good. All right, so that looks great. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to create two things. We're going to create the headband, and we're also going to separate it from the face shield. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is this. You want to use this trim line, all right, to separate the lower part of the mask. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave it active. You're going to go to the layer where it says headband, all right, to make sure that we're working on that layer. And then you're going to go back to path, and you're going to go to select, and you want to inverse. Okay. Now inverting it's going to allow you to then remove the lower part of the mask, and it's going to retain the upper part of the mask. Okay, so when I hit the delete key, all right, watch what happens to the lower part of the mask. You'll see it get lighter. Okay, here we go. You see? All right. Now, what that did was now it got rid of the lower part, and we can now deselect. All right, and now we have the upper part of the mask. Now, what you can do with that upper part of the mask is you can then maybe add a little more opacity to it to make it more visible. Okay, you see how they got a little bit darker? And then what we can also do too is we can reuse the path to stroke a line to kind of give it a little more definition. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and activate that path again, headband path. And instead of making it active, what we're going to do is we're going to introduce a new layer. And we'll just call that part one. All right. So rather than doing a fill, what we're going to do is we're going to stroke a line. All right. So here we go. Make sure we have our path selected. That's correct. And you want to go to your brush tool, and you want to go ahead and select a relatively small brush, but you want to make sure that your brush is way over here on the right, so it's got a nice hard fill. Okay, you want to check that it's got a full opacity, good flow. Okay, and when you're ready, let's go ahead and pick a line color. I think black is fine. All right, let's take a look at the size again. I think for sake of the demo, I'm going to make it pretty heavy so we can see it. Okay, I'm going to choose probably a 6-point line. I think that's plenty thick. And when you're ready, just go ahead and make sure you have a layer for it and stroke the line. And you can go ahead and hit the second button, which is stroke. And there's your line. All right. Now, how do you get rid of all this excess line? Okay, so you see all this excess line that we drew beyond the helmet or beyond the face shield? You want to go back now to use a face shield path, make that active. All right, you see how it's active? And what you want to do now is you want to go invert. So you want to select the outside part of that and hit delete, and watch what happens to this outside line. You see that it's almost like a hat. Okay, so when I hit delete, watch what happens to this outside line. Boom, it's done. All right. Now, on my next video, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and create the other details surrounding the headband. But that little demo was a great way to reuse an existing layer of a rendering, and by introducing a new path, you can go ahead and trim off what you don't need, and also stroke a line to more greatly define the perimeter or the edge. All right. So stay tuned for my next video. We're going to do a little bit more on this face shield and mask. Thanks for watching.